Anders Bostrom, welcome to Or Jazz.
Thank you very much.
You began your career in Sweden
Yeah.
and studied at the Berklee School of Music.
Yeah.
You followed by signing a record deal, full circle with CBS.
Yes. Well, that was
Was this a Swedish band with added friends from Berklee, or was it developed out of the impact of signing with CBS? Have you for the whole band?
Yeah, we formed the band at Berklee, and the keyboard player wrote the tunes. His grandparents were from Norway. We had a Norwegian bass player, and an American drummer, an American singer.
Right.
And we just started to play around in Boston, and we booked our own gigs, and then the group got a deal with Columbia Records.
I
So we
see.
did 3 records while we were at school.
You're currently playing flute in a musical on Broadway.
I play flute and bamboo flutes, a lot of ethnic flutes on Broadway. But you know, I'll get a show, and the shows that I do might not run for too long, maybe a year and a half or so, and then it stops. And then you wait around, I'll wait around for another show, and while I'm waiting around, I work as a substitute flute player at the Lion King.
I see.
So when he takes off, the main person takes off, I go in and substitute, and there's about 13 different flutes in the show. I've done one show, Tarzan, I played 15 different flutes.
How come you
The
learned
ethnic
that?
flutes are diatonic flutes, so they're in one key.
Right.
So if you play, if the tune is in the key of D, and then they modulate to the key of F, I need to pick up another flute. Plus, you have to make sure that you put the key on the flute, because they all look the same. One might be this long, and the next one is this long, a different key. Otherwise, you pick up the wrong flute,
Oh God.
and you're in a totally different key. So,
That's.
but it covers everything. It's regular flutes, wooden flutes, pan flute, penny whistles, ocarina.
How come you learned all these flutes?
I wanted to work. Actually, no, I met the guy before the Lion King started. I met the guy that was going to do the Lion King. He was playing Miss Saigon, and he
Right.
had some Chinese flutes. And I had none, so I thought, okay, it'd be fun to learn some stuff like that. So I took a couple of lessons with him. I bought some flutes. And then a couple of months later, he called me and said, I got a new show coming in. A lot of these bamboo flutes. Do you want to sub? Like, yeah, that's great. So
Great.
20 years. I've been a sub there for 20 years.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's always fun to play it.
That's beautiful. When I think of that kind of instrument that teaches you also Asian music.
Yeah, the Chinese flute, they have all their own styles. So if you really want to get into it, you need to listen to some Chinese bamboo flute players. They play a certain way with the ornamentation.
Right.
And then with Indian music, with the bansuri, I call myself a professional faker.
Professional.
I
fake.
don't really know the styles, like no one would ever hire me to play exactly that style. But if I hear something, I can kind of imitate it.
Right.
So that's good enough for most of the stuff I do. So the Indian flutes, they have their articulation. And I also like it that there's no key, so you can slide into the note, you can do, like, scoop into the notes and slide out. You can't do that it's hard to do on the regular flute.
Yeah, right. What would you tell young musicians and give them an advice nobody gave you that advice?
The business part, now they have class, if you go to Berklee, they have business classes, how to promote yourself and put a good package together, CD, pictures, and promote yourself on social media. There was really none of that when I went there, so that's like I guess what I missed the most, looking back at it.
Yeah.
It would have been great to have some classes in that.
What do you think of the things Fritz is doing here?
Amazing.
It's amazing, huh?
It is so, the kids are really good. My flute group,
Yeah.
they sound like professionals. And they know the parts. They sound great. We sound great. We nail it. And having professionals with the kids, I think, is a fantastic idea.
What advice, music advice, would you give young kids?
It depends on what you want to do. If you just want to play classical music, well, then You have to learn that repertoire.
Right.
But I think it's good to look at different styles. Learn something in different styles, like learn some Latin styles, jazz. Just, you never know. You never know what situation you might end up in, where they'll ask you to play some style, and you can kind of, if you've checked it out, you have an idea of what's expected. Because, for example, we have some Latin tunes here,
Yeah.
and if I were playing bebop lines over that, it would just sound wrong. It's not the style.
Right.
So you have to try to fit into the styles a bit. I think it's much easier to get more work.
Have you considered teaching?
Yes, I have a couple of students. I do Skype lessons.
Right.
Once in a while, I'm in New Jersey, so there's a bus trip between New Jersey and New York. If someone really wants to take a lesson, they'll take a bus out. But it's a little bit of all. Skype works great.
Thank you for having taken the time to talk.
Oh,
to
no,
us.
thank you.